And welcome to Mark Goldbridge. That's football. We're live for England versus Belgium in Belgium. And how are we all doing? Hope you're doing very, very well. We'll go through the team news for you in a moment. If you've just come over from the United Stand, you're very, very welcome as well. Let's get going. There we go. There we go. We're good. We're up and running, which is always good to see on this this evening here. Let me just have a look at the England team news. I'll tell you, I've got golf on my channel, on my TV. Get off. Get off, golf. We've already kicked off here. Bloody golf. Golf off. Don't want no golf. There's only Masters. Kiss it. And so De Bruyne is just on the ball at the moment. Where's that? There we go. Good. Boring golf, says Dylan H. Yes. Right. It's me and thee. I need to get the timer going. Yes, I know. I'm going to do that now. Then we're going to have a look at the team news. We are 1 minute in. Get off. Get off. We want one there. How are you feeling after the charity stream yesterday? Tired. I feel very tired, to be honest with you. But I was always going to watch this game today, so I thought, why not? Why not just do a watch along there? So the timer's down there below for you there. We're up and running anyway. That's the main thing. No Rashford because he's injured, Eduardo. We're just going to go through the team news now and have a look at what's going on. Get your score predictions in as well. Harry Kane's on a good little run here. Hit it, Harry. Good shot. Just wide. Worth a hit. Definitely worth a hit. So let's have a quick look at the team news. And then we can get the chats going. So Netherlands won 3-1 today. Depay, Wijnaldum, and he got 2 actually. And Van der Beek did get on in the 64th minute for Wijnaldum. But a good win for them. But we're not there. We're not here for that. We're here for this. And it's England versus Belgium. Pickford back in goal. Always depressing. But we'll start off with Belgium because they are the home team and we know most of their players. They've got Courtois, Alderweireld, Danier, Vertonghen, Meunier, Witsel, Tielemans, Hazard, Torgan that is, De Bruyne, Mertens and Lukaku. So very good team. Fockett on the bench. Big shout out for Fockett. If you know, you know. And England are starting with Pickford. Poor Pickford. Works quite well. I go to say Pickford and poor comes out for some reason. Pickford, Walker, Dyer, Mings, Trippier. So no Harry Maguire tonight, of course. And remember that Belgium haven't lost any of their last 23 games at home since losing in 2016 to Spain. So pretty good record for them. So that's your back four. Then you've got Jordan Henderson, Declan Rice. Sorry, it's going to be a back five, isn't it? Because we've got Dyer, we've got Chilwell playing as well. So I presume we're going to see Kyle Walker as a right-sided centre-back with Trippier at right-back, which is what we are seeing. So a back five, you've got Henderson and Rice, Mount, Grealish and Kane. On the bench, you've got Sancho, Calvert-Lewin, Foden, Bellingham. Xhaka. There's not a lot of quality in the England bench. I think England will lose this game. I'd be very surprised. That's my prediction. I do think England are going to lose this game. So fasten your seatbelts on that one. We'll see. We'll see. Get your score predictions in. We are live on Twitch as well. I must just say, I haven't forgotten the Twitchers. We are live on Twitch. So welcome to Rio Mia UK. I'm just going to open up the live chat there as well. Get it all going on. Favourite Oasis song, says Ted Wilkie. I'm hoping it's not going to be that sort of a game, Ted. I'm hoping we're going to see variety of talent here today. George Berahas with the super chat says, Mark, what about Luke at centre-back, especially in a 5? I think both Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke would work there. Telles, Shaw, Harry, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Van der Beek, Bruno, Rashford, Martial. I think that Luke Shaw would do a good job in an England back 5, to be honest with you. Dat other guy says it's going to be 2-1 to Belgium. Evening, Zach Anderson. Prediction Mark says Kieran's Evan. I think Belgium will win. I'm going to go... I think 2-1's not a bad score, but I'm going to go 2-0 to Belgium. And the Goob says that I guarantee England is winning this game. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we are 5 minutes into this game just about. And it should be a good game. I'm not massively into international football. I think it's unless it's a summer tournament, I'm not really massively into it. But this is a competitive game between England and Belgium. And I think the only interesting thing about international football is when you see two of the better teams competing against each other. A bit like the Watchalong we did last night, which was France versus Portugal. I thought that was quite an interesting one. But 4-2 to Belgium, says Flex King Marcus. I've won the World Cup on Football Manager with England. Get me in as a replacement to that waistcoat fraud, says Peas So Tasty. I don't rate Southgate. I was just talking about him at the end of the United Stand stream there. I do not rate Southgate that much, to be honest with you. I don't know what you think, everybody, but I don't personally rate him that much. Yes, I am. I've just realised what I'm wearing by looking at myself. People have been asking for this for years. I don't know what I think about it. It's a very good quality jumper, and it's a very nice design on it. If you want to get one, the link's in the video description, and it says Merry Christmas, you bloody prat, with my face on it in a stocking, looking like I'm forcing a poo out, I suppose. But there you go. Links in the video description if you want to get one. It's Goldbridge TV on Twitch if you want to watch on there, but we are live on YouTube as well. Should be a good game, I'd say 1-0, says John Boy 14Z. And suspended Harry Maguire is, says Matty, who's speaking like Yoda. Suspended Harry Maguire is, guys. Or Harry Maguire is suspended in non-Yoda talk. Any more Outlast soon, Mark, says Joey Jeff. I mean, look, yeah, we did this stream yesterday, didn't we? We raised £15,000 on this channel. So I think I can say safely, I mean, I said it on United Stand, but on this one it's more relevant. It was this channel and this community that raised £15,000 in a day yesterday, which was an amazing effort. Very tired today, but what an effort it was. We did FIFA, we did Among Us, we did Fall Guys, we did a watch-along, and then at the end of the day we did Outlast, which, to be honest with you, I mean, it did scare me a lot, but I was also very, very tired. But it did get me thinking that there was a lot of people quite interested in it, so I may well do it again, to be honest with you. But Oliver's in 45 says, hope you're okay. Congratulations, raising over 13k. It's 15k now because I added my bit on the end, and there was a few more contributions coming in. Maz says, has Telles got COVID? I think he'll be playing for United next week. I'll be very surprised. And he's training with Brazil at the moment, says Carl Mendes. So yeah, I've never been worried about that. How did you find Among Us, says Ain. We were playing it again tonight, this afternoon actually. We didn't stream it. I mean, if people want us to stream that, we can do. There was me, Drawty. About 10 of us playing. We just didn't stream it this afternoon. So it's good, isn't it? I think Among Us, for me, when I first started playing Among Us, and there's nothing going on in the game at the moment. When I first started playing Among Us, I found it a bit boring because I was playing online with people I didn't know, and it was just type away. When you play in a Discord chat with loads of people, it becomes a much better game. So I enjoyed it. So Burke Boyd says stream Among Us. Well, we'll do one on Twitch this week, I think. We'll do one on Twitch this week, definitely. Yeah, the watch-alongs are going to start again from next Saturday when we've got United on Saturday night, and then I'm going to might do a double header next Sunday because Arsenal have got Leeds, and then it's Liverpool against Leicester. So might do both of those on this channel and on Twitch. So there you go. Telles is training now, says Carl Mendes. So there you go. He'll be fine. Do give us a follow if you're watching on Twitch, by the way. Harry Evans says, get the cat out. If you know, you know. Lukaku here on the edge of the box. Nice layoff. Mertens will hit that. And it's gone in. Pickford again. It's not Mertens, it's Tielemans. And it's Pickford again. Pickford is crap. It deflects off Mings. Tillemans, edge of the box. I don't know whether they're looking at... Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Hold on a minute. Henderson's having a bit of a moan. I think the goal's been given. For me, it looks like a mistake by Pickford, but let's watch it back. Poor pass out from the back by Eric Dyer. Lukaku... to be honest, he's at full stretch, Pickford, but if he didn't have such short arms, I still think he should save that. Gets a finger on it. It literally is. If he didn't have short arms, he would save that. So it's 1-0 to Belgium. Change the score, Goldbridge. 1-0 to Belgium. But it's England on the attack. Should have been 1-1. Jack Grealish gets there on the front post. Doesn't really get a good connection. Sort of half commits. And it's a lovely cross by Trippier. Put your foot through it, Jack. Well, it's not terrible, actually. Alderweireld puts a block on in it. But it could have been 1-1 there. Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, says David. If his arms weren't so small... Exactly. Oh, headed off the line by Lukaku from Harry Kane. Harry Kane from the corner. Another corner coming in from Chilwell. And it's caught by Courtois. So England, good reaction there to going 1-0 down. Good clearance from Lukaku from a Harry Kane header. And then a good block from Alderweireld from a Grealish, from a cross that Grealish hit. But good response by England there. But defensively, it starts for me with a poor pass out from Eric Dyer. And I think Pickford should do better. Can I please donate to Marie Curie? And would you please give me a shout out, says Mark Gildenew. Yes, Mark, if you go back to yesterday's stream, which is the last video before this on the homepage, you'll see the link in the video description there. Or just Google search Just Giving Mark Goldbridge and you'll see it. So that's how you do it. There's your shout out, Mark. Mark, I could hardly sleep a wink last night. What the bloody hell did you play that game for, says Ryan Curley. It scared more people than me, did it? I didn't watch Katie Taylor last night, Connor, no. Lester Mo says that I'm going to go Belgium 3, England 1. Belgium have got a strong team. Well, England have responded quite well. Dude Perfect says that Dan Collins loves cheese. Header into the box by Harry Kane. Goes out for a throw-in on the far side. What did you have for tea tonight, says Tobster. You know what I had for tea tonight? I had pizza from yesterday that we didn't eat. Which I think is always great. It's always a good thing, isn't it? Never quite as good as the time that you get it, but it's eatable. Grealish is doing quite well here. Does well. I mean, I'm very happy that Grealish is playing tonight. Lovely cross in by Chilwell, but Courtois is there. Hi, Mark. My missus wants to know why they won't call up Wan-Bissaka, says Jake Dobson. I think Wan-Bissaka wants to know as well. Welcome to Lumpy Dumpy Doo, who's subscribed to us on Twitch. Thank you very much, pal. Appreciate that. Thanks for the support. Do I like a cold Chinese takeaway, says Burke Buds. No. I don't really like cold food unless it's meant to be cold food, like a bowl of cereal. Even then, I put it in the microwave. Love the jumper, Mark. Who said that? So you can have a shout out. Andrew D'Souza. Yeah, if you want to get one, link in video description. Look amazing this Christmas. I mean, one thing it will, Christmas should be a bit bit of fun, bit of novelty. You'll definitely stand out wearing one of these this Christmas, won't you? England's goalkeeper is so bad, says Fernando Osmani. I mean, I just almost want to applaud you. Thank you very much. Sterling is injured, but where is Rashford? Looks like the universe wants Spurs to win the league, says LFC 1892. How is Tillemans doing, says Road to Dawn. Well, he scored. He scored. The Bruno jumper, I took it off. I thought I'd change jumpers between two streams. So there you go. But if you want to get the Bruno jumper, the link is in the video description. This is a generic channel, though. It's not just about United on here. Please do more scary games, Mark, says Jamie Lambert. How much sleep did he get after that horror game? Loads. So 15. Afan says, what's the worst film No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Somebody just said, what's the worst film you've ever watched? There's probably loads of bad films that I've seen, but I must admit, Rocky and Bullwinkle with Robert De Niro was absolute shite. And Mean Streets was the most disappointing because I hadn't watched it and it was meant to be really good, and I just was like, what is this? It's got such a good reputation for such a boring film. Corner to Belgium here. Smart Prepper says, how is the game going? Good. I think it's been a good game so far. But England 1-0 down, obviously. Not a great bit of goalkeeping by Pickford. It was a good shot by Tillemans and it did deflect. But I think if he's got a little bit longer arms, he saves it. And that's the thing about Pickford. I don't think he's got the build of a goalkeeper, Pickford. I think that's the problem. I think he's a good goalkeeper, but I don't think he's got the build of a goalkeeper. If that makes you sense. I mean, we've all got those mates who go in goal who look nothing like a goalkeeper. They're like, they're about 5'8" and they do really, really well, but they're never going to be a top class goalkeeper, because to be a top class goalkeeper, it's not a coincidence that most of them are over 6 foot with big hands and long arms. And I think Pickford doesn't have the build of a top goalkeeper. Thoughts on Ray Clements, says Chanel. Very, very sad to hear that he's died at 72. Obviously, an ex-Liverpool and Spurs. I remember Ray Clements being in goal in the first FA Cup final. I fully remember watching. I do sort of vaguely remember United winning it in 85, and I sort of remember Liverpool-Everton. But the first one I was really old enough to sit and watch was Coventry-Spurs, and the cup final used to be the big event. And he was in goal for Spurs that day, Ray Clements. Obviously, I think he was assistant or goalkeeping coach for England, actually, with Ericsson. So, very, very sad news. Outlast wasn't scary enough, says DBX. And hello from Gibraltar, Mark. You ever been there before, says Ethan Cleverly. No. Evening, Mark. Good work, says Shawnee yesterday. 303, thank you. And Flash Gordon is awful, but I love it all the same. Oh, I love that Flash Gordon. Is that the one with Brian Blessed in? Gordon's alive. I love it. It's probably crap if you watch it now. You're like, what the hell? But yeah, I did quite like that. You can buy the Christmas jumpers. It's your boy. Link is in the video description of YouTube. It should be anyway. It is. And it works because it's got a tick on it next to me. So there you go. There you go. It's a bit early in the midnight hour for me. Let's have a watch of the game for a bit anyway. Declan Rice. England playing with a back five again. I mean, Southgate, I think he played a back five at Middlesbrough. Have we got any Middlesbrough people who can remember Southgate in charge? I don't want to depress you on a Sunday night, but I mean, the thing about Southgate is he wasn't even a very good coach. I think he did quite well in the UEFA Cup with Middlesbrough one year, but they weren't a very good team. And then I think he managed the under-21s. I mean, he's just a typical yes man, FA man, a bit like Hodgson really. But Hodgson's actually not a bad coach. Southgate's never an England coach. You know, England coach should be somebody who's done something with their career. I think the perfect coach for England would be like an Arsene Wenger, who's managed in the Premier League, done fantastically well in the Premier League, and, you know, doesn't want to manage day-to-day anymore. But Southgate, I mean, what I'd say about Southgate, and a lot of people say this about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the sack, do you think any other Premier League club would want him? And the answer is probably no. But he's got the job at United because he did a good job when he came in as an interim, and he's a United legend. So you can understand why he's United manager. I'm not convinced if Frank Lampard got the sack this season, any other Premier League club would want him either. But that doesn't mean he's a bad manager for Chelsea, because again, legend of the club, you know, those things can work. But if Southgate got the sack by England, I don't think he'd get a job in the Championship. So when people question him as a coach, there you go. Are you going to sing a Christmas song for us this year, A Blue Whale? I'm thinking about learning Are You Hanging Up Your Stocking on the Wall on the guitar. Yeah, I am thinking about it. It's a foul on Chilwell. There we go. Southgate could eat a carrot through a letterbox, says Gaz Elliott. I don't get it. And Lampard will be the first England manager to win the Premier League. I actually think Lampard would. I've always been quite complimentary of Lampard, to be honest with you. I was very impressed with Lampard when he came to Derby against Mourinho and they played us off the park. I think he's got a style of football, and I think that's always a very good start. Foul by Witsel on Grealish there. I'll tell you who doesn't look out of depth at this level, Jack Grealish. Sing us a booble song this Christmas, Mark, says Ethan cleverly. Have a holly child. I can't battle with him. Here we go. Nice little ball into De Bruyne. Went to hit it, and he's given a foul there. And I think actually Declan Rice put a good tackle in. He's not happy. He's like, I can't believe it. Well, believe it. Believe it. I don't think this was a foul, but it's a good place to win a foul. Maybe it was a foul. No, he kicks the ball. That's not a foul. He gets the ball first. Poor decision by the referee there. Not a foul for me. Morgan says, I don't think Kane works well in the system. What do you think? Well, you know, the thing about Harry Kane is that he plays for a decent coach, doesn't he? So, would I take Rice at United? Says Yobi Dwin. Yes, because United don't have a CDM who can do the job on their own. Mertens is going to hit it. 2-0. What a free kick. Tyrannosaurus Rex is back. It's Jurassic Park 4, starring Jordan Pickford as T-Rex. I mean, he's just not big enough as a goalkeeper. He just hasn't got the presence. He's too small. I think he's a good goalkeeper. I just think he's too small. I was talking about this 5 minutes ago. He just hasn't got the reach of a top-class goalkeeper. He's too small. Look at him. No, he's diving at that. I mean, look, it's a good free kick, but what a free kick. And it is 1-0. 2-0. But England are getting schooled here. Sorry, England, says Freedom. Get Pickford out of this team. I mean, you know what? I don't like to have agendas really, but He was miles away from that one. Absolutely miles away. I don't know whether that's poor positioning, but he's miles away from that. He'd have needed go gadget arms to save that one, to be honest. And we ain't turning this one around, says Mark Wilkinson. Yeah, Meek says Pickford agenda. Yeah. And Drawty says, all the talent England's got and we're third in a group of 4. I think that's a great point. I think that the reality is Southgate's tactics don't belong in international football. I don't think they belong in the Premier League. He's not a very good coach. We've got a lot of talented players. We're playing 5 defenders. And he does this a lot. Like, England haven't got Harry Maguire today, and yet we're playing 3 centre-backs. If I say to you, where's England's weakness in relation to squad depth, you're going to say centre-back and centre defensive midfield, because that's where we haven't got a load of depth. You've got Winks, you've got Henderson, you've got Phillips, and you've got Declan Rice. That's quite a lot of depth in CDM. You just might not think it's good enough for international football. Fair enough. At centre-back, we've got Harry Maguire, Joe Gomez is injured, you've got Tyrone Mings, you've got Michael Keane, you've got Eric Dyer, and Kyle Walker. Our weakest area in that team, because you think about up front, you've got Calvert-Lewin, you've got Harry Kane. You think on the flanks, you've got people like Sterling, Rashford, Sancho, Grealish, Mount. Our weakest area in squad depth is centre-back, and he's picked 3. And Harry Maguire's suspended. So it shows you everything about South. Connor Cody's quite good as well. But we haven't got a lot of depth in centre-back, and we haven't got loads of quality in centre-back, but he picks a system with 3 centre-backs in it. And, you should always play to your strengths. You're benching quality to play a system that doesn't suit your squad. And this could get embarrassing for England if they're not careful. Eamon Kelly says Southgate being found out against good teams again. Yeah, this happens a lot with Southgate. I like Tamori, but yeah. Tarkovsky is the best England central defender. Might be unpopular, but he's very good, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. And Mark, do you think Villa's valuation of 80 million of Grealish in the summer is justified now with his current performances? How much will Villa want now, says the Pankar? No, I wouldn't. I don't think anybody should have played £80 million for Jack Grealish in the summer, but I think maybe next summer he would be worth that. 2 years in the Premier League playing for England. But is anybody going to be worth £80 million but now? I don't know. Thank you, H. Willow Jones on Twitch. Do give us a follow if you're watching on Twitch, by the way. We are multi-streaming today, Twitch and on YouTube. And make sure you subscribe if you're new on YouTube. Harry Kane, poor pass, but they do get a corner there. Congratulations on a successful fundraiser. Any chance for a Charity United stand karaoke sing-song next year? Goldbridge looks like a young Bernard Summer from the New Order and sings better, says David Nardilla. I do love New Order as well. And why doesn't Southgate call up Smalling? He was best centre-back in Serie A last season. This is what? Stubborn Southgate, Arturo Venegas. Imagine Messi in City and Ronaldo at United next year, says Ethan Cleverly. Ooh, yes, we'd love to see that. I would love to see that. Cross comes in, headed away. You feel England needed a goal before half-time to make this game competitive. But if Belgium get the next one, could be embarrassing. Scotland will beat England in the group stage, says Campbell McIntosh. Yeah, but you know what, Campbell? If you know anything about football, if you know anything about England versus Scotland, I'll tell you this. Speak to Colin Hendry and Gary McAllister and Ali McCoist and Andy Gorham, they'll tell you it doesn't matter what players you've got on the pitch. Scotland against England, it very rarely turns into talent against not so good talent. It will be an absolute battle. They'll all be there, the Scottish players, passion merchants, and England, if they don't perform, they can get beaten. Of course they can. How tall is... that's a good question there. How tall is Jordan Pickford? Because I think his arms don't look particularly long, and I think that has been mentioned as it's not a myth. He has got smaller arms than most goalkeepers, but maybe there isn't anything in that. But England on the attack here with Harry Kane into Grealish, who loses it to Witsel, and now De Bruyne. And he's going to go... Oh, what a ball this is into Lukaku. Down the channel. Good tackle by Tyrone Mings, though. He's 6'1", Pickford. Gibbs says he's 5'7". There's no... He's bigger than that. He's definitely around 6 foot. But I wonder if he has got smaller arms. I'd love to know if anybody sensible would answer that question. It's not going to be Tom J. He says twirl or Mars. Mars for me, please. Odd Professor says Southgate's just a bad coach. That's a problem. Nothing else. Marcus McCann. I did enjoy the stream. Heard Liverpool are re-signing Jamie Carragher for cover. I'm so concerned for United. It's just a matter of time before it hits us. Well, the injury crisis, yeah, it is a problem. Who would I take at United? Grealish or Rice? I think at this moment in time I would take Declan Rice, because I really do think United need a quality centre defensive midfielder who can run the midfield. But England are screwed here because they're playing a back five and 2 holding midfielders, so you're 2-0 down with 7 defenders on the pitch. He's got to change it. Got to change it. I'm still here. Just having a little stretch. Southgate is a Poundland Ollie, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. Well, I don't think he's as good as Ollie, to be honest with you. I really don't. And I'm not lying. I'm being honest with that one. I hang it up, you're starting. That's too early. Oh, nice little ball into Grealish. I think he was looking to get a penalty there, but a good tackle. I think it's Daniel who made that tackle there. Timed well. Will you play more Outlast on this channel, says Ricky Keeley. Not on Mark Goldbridge, that's football. That's only because it was a stream. If I'm going to play any games like that, it will be on the Twitch channel, which is Goldbridge TV on Twitch. FM Cald 986 says, who do you think's England's best player? I think that's a good question, you know. Who do I think England's best player is? That's Harry Kane, isn't it, really? I mean, it's always very difficult when you're talking about players in different positions, but I'd say who's the best player in their position, therefore the best player. I think Harry Kane is one of the best strikers in the world at the moment. I don't think you can say Rashford or Sancho or Sterling are one of the best wingers in the world at the moment. I think they've got the potential to do it, but they're not. There's no other player in a position in that team other than Pickford. No, joking. Harry Kane. It's got to be Kane. He's the one who is at this moment in time considered to be one of the best strikers in the world. And I think it should always be done on a relevant thing like that. Here's Grealish. Oh, he gets it back. Go on. Oh, Mason Mount. I think he put it over the bar. Lovely play by Grealish on the left-hand side. Harry Kane with the flick. Grealish with the cross. Oh, it's Mason Mount. Bloody hell. I thought this must have deflected off somebody. He just hits the top of the ball, Mason Mount. I think he should score there. It's a good chance that is. Well, Chilwell's gone down here. This might not be good for Chelsea fans. Only 35 minutes gone. Chilwell's down. Thank you. There are some question marks around Chilwell and whether he's a bit injury prone. You know, just having a drink here. (2-0). I mean, England have had their chances in this game. I don't think 2-1 would be that much of a stretch. Belgium deserved to be in front, but England have had some chances that I think they should have took a little bit better. And if you think about Belgium's goals, they've not been clear cut. I actually don't think it was a free kick on De Bruyne, but it was a great free kick by Mertens. And you know, Tielemans' shot did take a bit of a deflection. So, you know, we must remember these things when discussing a game. So let's see what happens with Chilwell. But I don't think it was a free kick. But it was a very good free kick, and you can't deny that one. There's more internationals this week as well, isn't there? I'll have to have a look at that in a minute. David Miles says, are you scared to face their Tartan army this summer? No, not at all. I always like the big games. The reason I'm itching my nose is because I said it on the United Stand today. For some reason, I don't know whether it was that stream yesterday and a late night, but I need to trim my nose hair. You get to a certain age and it starts to grow. It's like bloody Sherwood Forest, I tell you. Comes to you all, you young'uns going, look at you getting old. It will happen. At least I've still got me hair. Are you going to watch I'm a Celebrity tonight? Says Joe B. No. Well, I'll tell you what, I might watch a bit of it actually. Curiosity and all that lot. Because it's in a different location. It might be quite interesting. Nice takedown by Lukaku. Lovely flick into De Bruyne. He's going to wait. What is that? What is that by De Bruyne? Really weird ball there when he could have just gone down the right-hand side. It's lovely by Lukaku. People will be clipping that saying, and people say he hasn't got a first touch. You know what? I'm going to sound really ignorant here, but I always say I know quite a lot about football, and I know things like, you know, certain young players at certain clubs. Who does Danier play for Belgium? I just can't. I've had a total and utter brain blank there. Lost my bet today, says Cal Tranalo. And he's coming off Chilwell. I think he's hurt. I think he's actually hurt his back. Plays for Lyon. Thank you, everybody. And J.A. Cypher says this is going to end up as a draw, 2-2. Mark, who do you think will win the Euros between France, Portugal, Belgium and Italy? For me. He says Italy, Robin. I haven't watched a lot of Italy, you know, Robin. I don't think Belgium will win it. I think they'll always be a team that, you know, on paper looks very good, but I don't think they'll win it. I would say France are probably going to win it. I failed my exam today, feeling gutted, says Sarab. Thank you for the content, Mark. One of the things that could have cheered me up. The thing about exams, Sarab, is you can always go again. It's like failing your driving test. I've failed tests in the past, you know. You just go harder next time. Not on your driving test because you'll fail. Don't go faster or harder. That aggressive driving will fail you. But you know what I mean? More focused and you know, ready. That's what I mean. DJ Henry says, who's the best player in the Premier League? Get going. Who do we think? Best player in the Premier League? Well, I always go with initially what the first thing that comes into my head, and De Bruyne comes into my head straight away. But it's a little bit unfair because I think Van Dijk is the best centre back in the country, in the world. So it's, you know, but I think I'd probably go with Donny van der Beek. Ben Gill says it's Ziyech. Well, I think to be one of the best players in the league, you've got to do it consistently, because I could easily put Bruno in the category, but I'm not going to be biased. My bet account got shot down for winning 3K, says Matthew Kirkham. You've got to be careful with these betting companies, you know. If you start doing well, they can, it's in their terms and conditions that they can actually shut you down. Cross coming in. Mike, my great aunt met Elton John in a pub once, says Ian Connolly. Random. There you go. That's it. But you take those random points and you bring it into a stream. So get in the comments. I mean, you're all going to start lying, but people are going to say, you know, I met Dale Winton at Legoland and we went for a Big Mac together. And I'm sure Dale liked a Big Mac and Legoland, but I wouldn't necessarily agree with you. But give us your stories of meeting or sighting famous people, because I'm sure everybody's seen one somewhere. I think the funniest one, I've seen quite a lot of famous people, but the funniest one that comes to my mind was when me and the missus were in Dublin at the bottom of Grafton Street in Brown Thomas, which is a big clothes store. And the wife comes up to me and says, Ronan Keating's over at the Ralph Lauren section. So I went over there and I was like, that's not Ronan Keating. Like, it was really small, and he had like a big coat on and a hat. So I went right next to him, and he started singing about Boy's Own songs, and I went, there's no need for anything like that, I'm not a fan. No, he didn't start singing, but it was him. And he's very small in real life. Also another one again, I think because I lived in Dublin, like Dublin's a capital city, isn't it? It's probably like if you live in London, but Dublin's a lot smaller than London, so you do see a lot of people coming to Dublin to do concerts. Where I used to work was quite a nice area of Dublin, and somebody came in and said, John Bon Jovi's in the shop across the road. So I looked out the window and he was stood outside of this shop with smoking a cigarette, and again he was tiny. And I opened it up and I went, whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, living on a prayer. And then I went, it's the final countdown. And on that one, he just walked off. And then somebody said to me, Bon Jovi didn't do the final countdown. I was like, oh, that's probably why he's walked off. He was smiling to Living on a Prayer. He probably thought I was taking a piss to Final Countdown. But, yeah, so Bon Jovi. I walked past Samantha Mumba once as well. She's not really famous, but there you go. I saw the guy who plays Jim from The Office walking round in Brooklyn. There you go. Road to Dawn. Well done. Whenever you're eating a sandwich, do you sometimes think, no, not reading that? And 5 years ago, I met Ray Clements in Milton Keynes, a lovely man to chat to and a big loss to English football. Also met Gordon Banks at the same event too, says the Dugout Football Channel. Must have been like a goalkeeping convention. Here's Harry Kane into the box. We need this. Good save by Courtois. Maybe should have hit it with his left foot there. Pope should be in goal over that T-Rex. Keane should be in over Walker, says Cameron Heaton. The little man says, I saw Alderweireld in the Barbers. And NI4 says, I met Teddy Sheringham and Tom Huddleston doing their badges in Belfast. And Jay the Dog said he met Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, at my cousin's party. Cross comes in for England. Headed wide by Mason Mount. He should have had 2 goals, Mason Mount. I think they're both. I know this is going to sound fake, says Louis Mack, but I actually met Rio Ferdinand at Legoland about 10 years ago. And the real Nate Dogg says he was sat in front of Luis Suarez and Andy Carroll at the cinema a few years back. Didn't have a clue for the entire film. Only noticed when we were leaving. Yeah, but we need to know what film you were watching. Free Willy 4. I went to Legoland with Sean Connery and they went to Windsor to have lovely lamb lunch, says Oscar Hunt. Hi Mark, who would you have liked United to sign in the last 20 years that we didn't? For me, it's Zidane, says Michael Southcombe. And OG Melon Hayes says, I saw Tyson Fury in Morecambe, then 2 days later, on way back down south, saw his brother in a motorway station. There you go. There you go. I wish United had bought Ronaldinho, and they were very close to doing it. Stego says he met Roger Federer in a bar in Zurich at 3 a.m. I just walked into the bar because I needed to pee. Is Federer a drinker then? You know? Anyway, we're nearly at half time, so we'll be playing either or in a minute. Funky Paul on Twitch says, big congratulations on yesterday. You smashed the target. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you, everybody, for yesterday as well. Really, really fantastic what we achieved collectively. And I met Ronnie O'Sullivan in a hotel, says Sean O'Connor. Cornolio says, are you looking forward to Scotland versus England next year? No. I'm looking forward to Manchester United against West Brom next Saturday. That's what I'm looking forward to. Joe says, I met Neil Warnock at a garden centre once. Grumpy old git he was. I imagine Neil Warnock is exactly what he's like on the telly. Just grumpy. Ollie used to be my coach as I live in Kristiansund, says Andreas Wilken. I helped Gary Neville find Christmas jumpers at TK Maxx when I worked there, says Alex Brown. England. Come on, try and get one before half time. Here's Grealish into Harry Kane. No, he's not having any of that. And Brandon Man United says, I nearly got run over by Phil Jones. Well, I don't believe that, because he would run you over. There's no way that either that or you were just very, very quick. Nice ball by Harry Kane out wide offside. Trippier. And for the channel says, I met you at the Giggs event. Well, you probably did meet me at the Giggs event, because I was at the Giggs event. I met Ryan Giggs for the first time at that event. And YCFC Tom says, Grealish looks like an England player. He's doing very well, yeah. So it's this half time, and United, sorry, not United, it's England, have been a little bit better, but not massively. And I think they're going to really struggle to get back into this game. They need to score the next goal. 5 places you want to visit in the US, says M. Rivera. Well, I want to go New York. I want to go Las Vegas. I want to go LA. I quite like the look of, where Martha's Vineyard. Is it like, I can't remember where it's called. It's like New England, isn't it? And Boston looks good as well. So Chicago. There's loads of places I'd like to go in America. There we go. What's either or, Mark? Never heard of it, says Tom. So the way either or works is you give me 2 things and I'll say which one I prefer. I ran into Catch Me Outside girl from Dr. Phil at an Arbis in LA, says Carlos Hernandez. And Mark Deniar looks like the United stand team, number 8, says Sahal Ibrahim. And Dembele or Rashford, says Sean O'Connor. I don't watch enough of Dembele, to be honest, so I'd say Rashford. But I mean, I know Dembele's a good player, but he's got to get over these injury problems. If you're on death row, what would your last meal be, says Jaywood? Probably a lasagna. And I met Di Maria at Adidas store in Australia when Argentina had a friendly against Brazil in Melbourne. Got a photo, the snake, says Ethan Kelly. And you know what I tend to do when I meet famous people is I don't know why it is. I don't know whether it's stubbornness on my part or maybe I think that they might like it a little bit more. is I don't really act starstruck. And I don't really act like I'm impressed to see them. They probably don't like that, actually, because I think some people just want to be, you know, adulated, I suppose. But when I'm at gigs, I was just sort of like, yeah, Ronaldo's better than you. And that was it. No, I didn't really say that. Ricky Hatton sat behind me at Old Trafford, says Sean Byrne. And Ricky Hatton's a City fan, I think. I keep falling randomly. Pretty sure it's me running into John Cena, says Shurab. And Ant or Deck? I think I prefer Ant. I think I found Deck a little bit of a goody-goody two-shoes. Yeah, I think so. Please subscribe if you're new on YouTube, by the way. I haven't said that today. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. And if you are watching us on Twitch, give us a follow. We are multi-streaming. Twitch is my channel that I'm generally going to be doing more lifestyle stuff, so gaming and things like that. But if I'm going to do watch-alongs, I'm probably going to multi-stream on Twitch as well on occasion. Yeah, we did some stuff yesterday that I'm going to be doing on Twitch. So Among Us, some of the scariest stuff, obviously some non-career mode FIFA stuff, and some exciting stuff coming up before Christmas as well. I can't say too much, but I think we're going to have our Christmas party on Twitch as well, which is Goldbridge TV. So get on there. Nick P says, I walked past Peter Crouch at the zoo. No, he didn't really. He says, I walked past Peter Crouch on Shoreditch High Street in London. It was terrifying. Felt like he was double my height and had a flat cap on. There you go. And I work with the San Antonio Spurs players. If you ever come to San Antonio, Texas, we can get you floor seats for the games, says M. Rivera. We're going to Texas. We're going to Texas. Flex, we're going to Texas. What do you think about Italy, says Samuel Greco? I like Italy. I've only been to Italy twice, but I do like Italy. Sean C says Home Alone 1 or Home Alone 2. I've just watched Home Alone this afternoon. Probably going to upset a lot of people in the live comments because they're going to say it's too soon. But it's the 15th of November. I have a very busy life, as I'm sure many of you do. And if I don't start watching Christmas films now, I won't get them all watched before Christmas. Because if you think about it, Home Alone 1, Home Alone 2, Elf, all the Christmas specials of like The Office and everything like that, Polar Express, Wonderful Life, Daddy's Home 2, which I actually quite liked with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, and has a Christmas theme. So you've got to start getting into them. But I think Home Alone 1 is better than Home Alone 2, although Home Alone 2 is good. Is Die Hard a Christmas film, yes or no, says Jay Wood. Yes, it is. And you think Rooney wasn't appreciated enough, says Abev. No, I think Rooney was appreciated at United. He just didn't what's the word? It just sort of ended a little bit, if you know what I mean, a little bit earlier than it should have done. But no, good player, fantastic player, in fact. That's good. It's good to know. One other thing I'm going to do as well is, if you want to get this jumper, I'm sure it's not been lost on many of you. Dan's says, what's your thoughts on Brussels sprouts? I don't eat them very often, but I do like them at Christmas. I used to bloody hate them as a kid, but I do quite like them now. Links in the video description if you want to get one of these. I know a lot of people have been asking for a Goldbridge jumper or t-shirt. We do this in a t-shirt as well. If you're not a jumper person because it's hot in Australia at the moment or wherever, you can get this in a t-shirt, and it's available in different colours as well. So links in the video description for that. And we do ship worldwide, but obviously the sooner you get it in, the better, because things are going to go a little bit hectic in relation to deliveries in December, because a lot of lockdowns are going to end, and this, that and the other. In between us or Friday night dinner, says Lauther. Definitely in between us for me. And Alaba or Boateng? Oh, that's easy. Easy. It's Alaba. Easy. I don't rate Boateng. I've never rated Boateng. Favourite chocolate bar, says DJ Henry. Topic. I'm not afraid to be controversial. I know it's not a very popular chocolate bar, but I love the Topic. I was gutted. Topic in the early days used to be in the celebrations tub, and they got rid of it. I love a Topic chocolate. It's my favourite chocolate bar, Topic. In fact, you reminded me, I'm going to buy myself 5 for Christmas and eat them all before my dinner. Rachel Riley or Holly Willoughby, says Marvin AM. Well, it's a very good question that I'm not going to answer because I'm a happily married man. But I think for those of you who aren't, you can answer away. Rachel Riley or Holly Willoughby. Yeah, it's a good... A lot of you will like that sort of thing. Favourite horror film? Probably Free Willy. I've said it before. I just find it very weird. I don't like killer whales. I've seen killer whales, what they do in the wild, and I don't know why people are swimming with them, stroking them, and calling them Willy, and stroking Willy. I don't get it, because they're vicious. They're vicious, so I don't like them. Everton or Liverpool, Jack? Easy, Everton. I mean, Liverpool are my biggest rival as a Manchester United fan. I'm just looking at England's chances in the first half, though. They had a few. They've definitely had a few, and I think that they definitely could have been... They could have been 1-0 up in here. Well, not 1-0 up. It could have been 2-1. Next goal's very key in this. Lampard or Gerrard? I'd say Lampard at the moment as a manager. Favourite flavour of crisps, says Jim Nickel-Turner. I'm into like novelty crisps at the moment. Like you can get them from Aldi. They're like, I don't even know what they are. They're like, all I can describe them as is a little cage. They're like a round ball and you bite them and they're hollow in the middle. But they look like a dome cage and they're about that big. And they've got them in barbecue flavour and they're just so Moorish. And I like them pop chips as well. They're very Moorish as well. So, I like the look of this game. Oh no, it's Call of Duty. I thought it was going to be like a Mafia game. Call of Duty. Anyone played Call of Duty Black Ops? Any good? Always looks better on the telly. What do I think about Chelsea, Matteo? I think they're good. I've not played Mafia 2, no. I've got a lot of time for Chelsea now that Lampard's there. I never really liked him much as a player, but I do like him as a coach. I think he's being backed by the board. They've made some very good signings. He tries to play a good brand of football. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea did something this year. And I think second would be good for Chelsea. So we'll see what happens with them. But I think they'd be very happy with that. Gareth says he's really enjoying Cold War. I don't think I'm going to get it this year. I just haven't got time. And you need to understand all the bloody maps and that. I used to love all like Deathmatch and all that lot, but you need loads of time. I ain't got time for it. I don't know how people find the time to play like FIFA and Call of Duty because you got to put the time in, haven't you? You know. Tottenham or Arsenal, says Phil Singh. Tottenham for the same reason I'd go Everton over Liverpool. Lewis MC says that Call of Duty is good. And what is your opinion on the amount of Premier League players being injured, says Jay Scheifer. I think we're going to see more of it. I mean, look at the international break. I'm glad you've said that. So we've already seen England play Ireland on Thursday. We've seen them play Belgium tonight. We know all these players are going to be playing in the Premier League from next Saturday. But no. It doesn't stop there, everybody. There are still more internationals to come. And they're competitive ones. France are playing Sweden on Tuesday night. Portugal are playing Croatia on Tuesday night. So your Brunos, your Pogbas, they've still got another competitive game to play. And England are playing another competitive game on Wednesday night against Iceland. So, it's... Ollie moaned about players playing on a Wednesday night on a Saturday lunchtime. Well, they're playing Wednesday night, 3 international games, and then they're playing on Saturday night. And then they're going to be playing on Tuesday night in the on the Wednesday night, I think, in the Champions League. So it's relentless, and we're going to be picking up injuries. So I think actually, if you value domestic football over international football, then realistically, if some of your players have had a rest because of little knocks like Rashford's or suspensions like Maguire's, it's not a bad thing. They're playing too many games at the moment, and I don't think that's a good thing. Prime Zidane or Prime Pirlo? Bob Killer, wash your mouth out. Zidane was one of the very best of our time. Fantastic player. My nose is really itching me today. I haven't got a tissue. Harry Kane or Aubameyang, says Beloved Wanderer. I always say this. It's for me, it's Harry Kane at the moment. I never would have thought I would have said that, but I think he's done wonders so far. So, yeah. Meteo says, who's your favourite YouTuber? Without a shadow of a doubt, me. I just love streaming and then watching myself back. So, yeah, definitely me. No, I'm only joking. The funny thing is, for somebody who does a lot of YouTube and streaming, I don't really watch a lot of anybody else. So I can't think of anybody else I really watch. In fact, I'm telling a lie. My favourite YouTuber is Dr. Robert Jackson, who does a daily stream about COVID. And I just find it weirdly quite therapeutic. I'll normally put it on at the end of the night. And if I can't sleep, I'll put it on. So, yeah, he's just some old English fella who talks about the daily news about COVID and what's going on in the world. So, yeah. That's the one I watch the most. And I do watch a bit of FIFA stuff. Neil's Guides, is it? I do watch a bit of that. That's about all I watch on YouTube. FIFA Analyst a little bit as well. So that's the honest truth. Do you think the Premier League will try to implement 5 subs rules in the middle of the season? All the clubs will suffer injury problems, says Rishi. They should have done it from the start. Best keeper in the Premier League, says Ty Jacobs. I think that's a really good question. I'd probably say it's Edison or Allison, and that might not actually be the right answer. Mertens has been so underrated in his career. United should have bought him years ago. Instead, we bought Di Maria and Falcao. Disastrous, says Great Banter. Ashton Ginger says Harry Potter is amazing. I don't think anybody asked. But, you're not wrong. I do quite like the Harry Potter films. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? What are you saying? Players are coming out for the second half anyway. I'm actually very glad that this is a 7:45 kickoff. I always like the traditional 7:45 kickoff. 8 o'clock just makes your night a little bit later. You can watch this. It can be all done by 9:45. Get a film on and not be up too late. I walked past Janus in Selfridges, says Nick P. He looked at me in earnest as if he wanted me to acknowledge his greatness, but I completely blanked him. High five. I love that. I love it when you see a famous person and they look at you as if do you know who I am? No. Harry Winks is coming on. Defensive change for Southgate. I don't know who he's coming on for. Jordan Henderson. So, get ready with the timer. Can England get back into this in the second half? That is the question to which there is an answer. They've got to score next. I mean, it's very easy to say that England are going to lose this game, but the reality is, if you look at the chances, then I think England have had the better ones. Sharath Kamath Fitness just put a super chat in, actually asking, has anybody got any good funny film recommendations? I watched something the other week that wasn't terrible. It had the guy out of, is it Patrick Bateman, who does Ozark? Is it called Date Night or Game Night? Something like that? I don't think it was called Date Night because it wasn't about dates. It was about games. That was okay. It was sort of a bit like, have you ever seen The Game with Michael Douglas in it? And who was in The Game? Michael Douglas. And I can picture his face and I can't think of his bloody name. The older you get, the more you start to just shed knowledge that you always used to have. It wasn't Mickey O'Rourke. Oh, I can picture his bloody face. Someone's going to tell me very quickly. Game Night, it's called. Thank you, Pie's so tasty. Pie's so tasty. Jason Bateman, thank you very much, Jack Brady. Sean Penn, that's his name. Sean Penn. Can you remember Sean Penn's brother? He was in True Romance. If you've never seen True Romance, is that a I think that might be a Tarantino film. If it's not a Tarantino film, he was definitely involved in it with Christian Slater. And I think, was it Patricia Arquette? Very good film. Here's Lukaku into De Bruyne. Don't let him get on his right foot. Well, he did. Got to get tighter than that. Got to get tighter than that. That's what she said. Swinney says, my gerbil just died of foot cancer and he also had a brain tumour in the right of his head. Yesterday he got ran over by a truck. Yeah. We don't believe you, Swinney. I hope we're safe to say that, but what was he doing on the road for a truck? Tillerman's just found Grealish. Marcus McCann says, have you ever seen Taken? Come on. Rest in peace, Des O'Connor and Ray Clements, says Joel Morris. I was going to say rest in peace to Des O'Connor, but I didn't know how many people would actually know who he is. I grew up with Des O'Connor, not in his house, wasn't like that, nothing like that. I mean, I grew up with him on the telly. He wasn't in my living room sitting on the telly. What I mean is, he was actually, he used to have a weekly show on, I think it was on Wednesday night, Des O'Connor show. So that was like the 80s and the 90s. DiCaprio or Tom Hardy? That's a good question, Shoab. I like DiCaprio and I do like Tom Hardy, but I would go DiCaprio out of the two. Yeah, who hasn't seen Taken? Says Funky Paul. Love the vid, says Brian VM4. Thank you very much. Make sure you give us a follow on Twitch and subscribe if you're new on United Stand, bottom right hand corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I don't know whether I'm going to do an Iceland versus England watch along on Wednesday night. I mean, I sometimes say no, I'm not doing it, and then on the day I think, well, there's nothing else to do. So I never say never, but career mode will be back on YouTube. That's football tomorrow. And I think the next stream on Twitch will probably be Among Us, which I'll do at some point as well. Meet the Fockers is funny, Matty Radler. I mean, it's old now, but it is funny. Welcome to Daniel Matthews 14, who's subscribed on Twitch. Thank you. Half past 3 tomorrow on YouTube. That's football for the career mode. Can't remember what episode we're on, but we're doing quite well. Up near the, well, not top of the league. I think City are top of the league, but we're doing quite well. It's about January time, isn't it? I think. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Great film. As I said, I watched Home Alone today. That's another one you've got to watch. I think some people just spend the week before Christmas watching all the films. I'm too bloody busy. Although if we're in lockdown, maybe I shouldn't have started watching them early. So Winks has come on for Henderson, and we're still playing with Mason Mount, Jack Grealish, and Harry Kane. Oh, he's giving a foul to England here. Belgium wanted a foul. Harry Kane saying he's in the box. He wants a penalty. I think it might be a penalty. Harry Kane's not really pushing it enough. Witsel gets fouled by Grealish, I think. No, he's not in the box. Harry Kane's arse lands outside the box. He's definitely not getting a penalty. It's on the edge of the box. It's not too dissimilar a situation to the one that Mertens scored. It's about the same position on the same area of the pitch from the first half. So Boris is now self-isolating. Why? Don't know whether that's true. Legendary, I played difficult. I had a shit day on FIFA yesterday. My God. Absolutely terrible. I've had to rejig my team. I lost all confidence yesterday. I was so bad. Need to get back to basics. But I'm good at Among Us. I'm very good at Among Us now. I was playing it again today. When I'm the imposter, I don't tend to get caught. I win. Mason Mount's going to take the free kick. Crap. Crap free kick. Get me on Twitter. I just think he's crap. I do not get how crap he is. Son Goku says, any tips for my driving test in 4 weeks? I failed my first driving test. You know why I failed it? I'm going to bore people because I've told you this story before. I used to do I did my driving test in Quinton in Birmingham. And shout out to anyone from Quinton. And basically, this is wrong. This is wrong. It irritates me even now. So I did my driving test, and the driving instructor picked me up from the same place I always did my test. And I think it's because my driving instructor used to train me every week, wanted me to get used to where they do the test. And you came down this road from the driving instructor school, and you come to a dual carriageway, and we always used to cross the dual carriageway and go right. And he said, as we approached it, he said, I want you to go straight. And I went right. And he went, I told you to go straight, and marked. And I looked and I said, is that it then? He said, well, no, you've got to carry on with the test, but you've failed because you've I don't know what the rules were. And I was like, mate, I was driving along. I said, mate, at the end of the day, I've only gone right because I'm so used to going right. And foul on Grealish on the edge of the box. And he's going to give you a yellow card as well. And he said, well, you've disobeyed an instruction, which he was right. He was right. But it pissed me off. And the second time I did my test, I stalled it at a roundabout, a really busy roundabout. I thought, oh, that's it. I'm definitely going to fail. And literally in seconds of stalling it, while still keeping it in first gear, I just turned the engine off, turned it back on, held the clutch, and instantly restarted it and went. And nobody pipped me. I didn't cause any delay or anything like that. And when we got back to the instructor school, he said, I normally would have failed you for the stall at the roundabout, but the recovery you made was so quick. I don't think Ayrton Senna in his prime could have recovered it that quick. You've passed. Let's have a pint. And that's a true story. Free kick goes into the wall from England. Saka kicks thin air and Belgium clear their lines. Louis MC says, I watched the whole stream last night, Mark. So thankful for everything you do, including the stream, but also helping everyone over lockdown. Thanks, pal. Boris came into contact with COVID, so he's isolating. Ah. Oh. Hey, I like this question from MFM Cold. Disney or Netflix? Oh, that is the question of our time. You know, sometimes people say Lampard, Gerrard or Scholes, and you think, well, I don't because I was alive at the time. You think, well, I wasn't old enough to remember. This is a question for you lot. This is a question for you lot. Netflix or Disney Plus? I know what I think, but I'm going to give you time to think. I can't believe it. There's a lot of people. And it's sort of a YouTube Twitch battle. And the great thing I love about having both live comments in front of me is that it's always a very different opinion on both. Like yesterday when we did Foot Draft, people would be going one player and then Twitch would be going another player. But it's probably more Netflix on YouTube. I'd play 60-40. And on Twitch, probably more Netflix as well. Yeah, I would go Netflix. Yeah, I'd go Netflix. I mean, look, Disney's great if you like Simpsons and Star Wars, but Netflix has just got way more on it. So, yeah, I would go Netflix. Disney's good. I like Prime. I do like Prime, but then again, I buy a lot of stuff off Prime, so I wouldn't say Prime series. I don't really watch a lot of Prime series, to be honest. So Netflix. I think Prime versus Disney is probably more of a battle, but Netflix comes out on top. In fact, tonight I'm gonna rewatch a series that I watched last year, which is The Movies That Made Us, because they've got Die Hard on there. And I thought before I watch Die Hard at Christmas, I want to watch the film about how they made it. Son says, have you heard of Leamington Spa, Warwickshire? Every time I drive through Solihull, I say to my missus, it's the Mark Goldbridge area. Leamington Spa's probably about half an hour away from me, but yeah, I've been there quite a few times. Used to go drinking there quite a lot. Yep. Come on, England, get a goal. We've had 2 decent free kicks in it here. Played a lot better second half. He needs to He needs to get somebody on in the front 3. What's the bench for England? We've got to have some talent on the bench. It's a shot there from outside the box. You can't just keep Mount on all the time. But it takes Grealish off before Mount. Calvert-Lewin, Foden, Sancho. I've got to get Foden or Sancho on. Lumpy Dumpy Doo says I had a belting Chinese takeaway in Leamington Spa. It's a nice place, Leamington Spa. Warwick. Oh, Warwick's a bit overrated. Take the castle out of it and it's just basically Chelmsford. Batman and Inception. Ihab. I am going to play Among Us and it will be on Twitch, which is Goldbridge TV. I just need to sort out when everybody can play it because we'll probably just have an hour at some point. Might do it tomorrow, like 7 o'clock before the 8 o'clock show. And Southgate still doesn't make any subs. I can type quite fast, D-Meta, yeah. Yeah. I think most people can these days. Nice ball into Mason Mount. Goes the wrong way. Should have had a shot. I mean, why does Mount do that there? The ball comes to him on the edge of the box, in his stride, on his right foot, and instead of shooting, he goes to the left and loses the ball. Fucking useless. Shoot. I did used to go to Touchwin every week, Alvin Blocks, yeah. Did you watch Jim Will Fix It as a kid? Hazard, yep. Yep. I know a mate of mine that I grew up with went on Jim Will Fix It and sat on his lap. I mean, talk about a lucky escape. It's a bit like falling in the sea with tomato ketchup all over you in a sea full of great white sharks. If you get out of it, you just think I had a lucky escape. He actually went on Jim Will Fix It and sat on his knee. He said nothing happened. Mark, you're overqualified to play Among Us, says Josh Lewis. Knight Rider or A-Team. I used to love them when I was younger. Vikings or Game of Thrones. I never really got into Vikings. England are really pressing. I think, to be fair, I think England have 2-1 is about right. But then again, have Belgium just sat back and gone, you know what, we don't need to do much. We just need to win. Grealish, oh, that was good play over the bar. Could have been a good goal, that, by Grealish. Mount agenda, says Red Devil. No, I just don't think he's very good at this level. I think he gets preferential treatment over players that are better than him, like Foden and Sancho. Am I wrong? Proxy says, what's your thoughts on Brighton? I've sort of changed my opinion on Brighton. I didn't used to like them, but actually I think Potter's a good manager and I think they play in a good way. I just don't think... They're just not a very attractive club, are they? Because they don't really have any decent players. Like Palace, you'll go, oh, they've got Wilfried Zaha or Eze or, Andros Townsend or, Gary Cahill. They've got players that you know. But with Brighton, you just don't really know any of the players. Although I do like Morpay for obvious reasons. What PC laptop do you use? I tend to use Asus ROG gaming laptops because they're just so powerful for gaming that it works quite well for streaming as well. Oh, Mings does well. Will you ever play Outlast again, says Wrestle India? I don't know. I mean, if I do play it again, I'll stream it. But I've got to be honest, it's not really... I don't mind playing horror games. You know, a lot of people enjoyed it, and I will play a horror game. But the thing I didn't like about Outlast is I actually do like to have a weapon. Like, when I'm playing Resident Evil, I do like to be able to, like, punch or kick or shoot. And I didn't like on Outlast that you get attacked and you just get attacked and you have to run away. Like, I've got quite a good left hook. I might want to punch the mutant. Here's Harry Kane down the right-hand side. Good tackle. I do know about Smethwick, and I quite like the drink Smethwick's Lords, which is something you can get in Ireland. It's basically their bitter. Mark Goldbridge has permission. GGZ, yes. I'm not a partner either. I'm an affiliate. But I do have permission, yeah. I'm going to watch a bit of I'm a Celeb after this. Could do I'm a Celebrity watch-alongs. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? Right, they're having a bit of a drinks break here with half an hour to go. Who's down now for England? Is that Trippier? Yeah. I don't know whether Andrew Ellis is watching, but he's just donated £20 to the charity stream that we did yesterday. Thank you, mate. I know people are still contributing. £15,000, mate. Absolutely amazing. It just makes it harder for next year, but, you know, we go for 20 next year, I suppose.
He's got inside. He's got it. Got a song, he's got it, get inside. Losing 2-0 to Belgium. From Dreamers to free kick. Got relegated with Middlesbrough. Rates Mason Mount over Jack Grealish. Adios.
Can you see that? This is... Oh, let me just play this. This is Carrick Fan. If you don't know who Carrick Fan is, I love him. Matthew, he's brilliant. He's I'll give him a shout out on Twitter. It's at dcarrick2020. He calls himself Donald Silverbridge. So, but he's been on Twitter for years. His accounts are always getting hacked and stuff like that. But he's a really funny lad. He's just put this on Twitter.
He's got inside. He's got inside. He's getting. Got the south. He's got inside. He's got inside. He's got inside. He's got it. Got a song, he's got it, get inside. Losing 2-0 to Belgium. From Dreamers to free kick. Got relegated with Middlesbrough. Rates Mason Mount over Jack Grealish. Adios.
Oh. This world. This world. He's up Trippier now anyway. He's up. I think Leicester Liverpool will be a really good game this time next week with all the injuries that Liverpool have got and the fact that Leicester have been so good this season. That could be a real tough test for Liverpool. So I'm going to do that as a watch along next week. There's Xhaka down the left-hand side. Not such a good cross. the date today? It's the 15th, yeah. Who do we think will get the next James Bond? Somebody just said there, will it be Cillian Murphy or Tom Hardy? I don't know whether Tom Hardy's a bit... I can't imagine... I mean, I think Tom Hardy would be a very, very good James Bond. I think he'd be a bloody brilliant James Bond. But has he not done too many roles now to be that? I mean, the James Bond character normally is somebody that is a bit of a newcomer, if you know what I mean. I'd go with Phil Jones. Here's Jack Grealish, edge of the box. Lays it off to Winks. Nice ball out wide to Trippier. Kyle Walker loses it. Into De Bruyne. Watch out for Lukaku. Ooh. I mean, Belgium have barely got out of third gear this half. Tom Hiddleston, I think, would be terrible. Kit Harington's too small. Richard Madden would be quite good. Probably a little bit old now. There was a guy who did he was on a... I can't remember what his bloody name is. He was on a BBC drama about 2 or 3 years ago. It was set in London, but it was about a Russian family. I can't remember what his name was, and I can't remember what the bloody TV series was called, but I thought he would have made a good Bond. England about to make a double substitution. Sancho comes on and Calvert-Lewin comes on. So I think he'll take Grealish and Mount off. Oh no, he's taking Trippier off. And he's took Mount off. Mount off for Calvert-Lewin. Trippier off for Sancho. So it's gone a little bit different there. Fair play to Southgate. He never normally picks Grealish, and then he's kept him on the pitch, which is good. McMafia it was called. That was what it was called, McMafia. And that leads me to Google, and I can tell you the name of the person I meant. God, I nearly knocked the water on my laptop then. That would be the end of me. James Norton. He's 35. And he has got odds to be the next James Bond. He's one of the favourites to be James Bond, actually. James Norton, Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, Sam Heughan, I've never heard of him, Richard Madden. Yeah. I bet I know who Sam Heughan is, actually. Let's have a quick look. So keep your eye out on James Norton. Sam Heughan. He's a Scottish actor. He's 40 years of age. And I've got no idea what he's ever been in. Oh, he's been in Outlander. And, yeah. I don't know what Outlander is. Outlander is a historical drama based on the novel series of the same name by Dion. Actually looks quite watchable. Outlander. Has anyone ever watched Outlander? Goldbridge for Bond. I'd do it. The name's Bond. Mark Bond. No, you're meant to say James. No. It's a new angle. You prat. People are saying that Tellez has tested positive for COVID again, but I'm pretty sure he trained about an hour ago with Brazil. So here's Sancho on the right hand side. He loses the ball there. But, I mean, Belgium have done sod all this second half, have they? Well, they haven't needed to. They're 2-0 up. I think Harry Kane's played quite well. Here's Kyle Walker, gets it wide to Sancho. Go on, whip, 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 whip. That's a terrible cross by Kyle Walker. Oh, it's not, actually. And it's handball by Harry Kane. Boris is in self-isolation, says Stuart Smith. C. Boyle says Mark would be a better manager than South. I think everybody in both chats would be a better manager than Gareth Southgate. My timer's crap, that's why. I need to. It's on my list to fix for next week. My timer is absolutely shit. I'm 28 minutes in. It's a good 10 seconds behind what I'm actually watching, so apologies about that. I need to fix it. Who would I replace Southgate with? Says FM Cold on Twitch. I would get Wenger in. Shawnee says, "Are you my dad?" You never know. But you're not. No, I'm not. Seriously, I'm not. 15 minutes to go. England need a bloody goal here. They've had so much of the ball in the second half. They could actually get something out of this game. They just can't bloody score. I think Belgium have been poor second half, and I don't think that's because England have played well. There's a good tackle here. This is it. Oh, he's gone the wrong way. Declan Rice. Why didn't you put that into Harry Kane's path? Harry Kane's furious with that. Goes the wrong way. That's awful from Declan Rice there. He's running at goal. There's a defender in front of him. Harry Kane's to his right. Just pass it into Harry Kane's path. England with a chance to whip across in here. It's cleared by Belgium. Thanks, Peter Moore in 98. Belgium with a little bit of attack here. 15 minutes out. Oh, good save. Lukaku from a cutback from Mertens. Have England run out of energy here? Deasy says he's sick of international football. Courier Pro says, go on England. I can't believe there's another round. Fockett is on the bench, Aditya. If you know, you know. I can't believe there's another round of international games. I think it's a disgrace that there's 3 international games every international break now. It was only ever 2. I tell you what, I tell you who I'd be really worried about. Your thoughts on 5 subs considering all the injuries, says David Adikoyo. We definitely should have it. I was just about to say it as well. I would be terrified if I was a Spurs fan, because Harry Kane playing all this football, and it's a big season for Spurs. I think I am going to do a Cooking with Goldbridge Christmas special. Yes, Omar. I'm doing one this week, not Christmas, but I'm not going to do a spoiler, but I'm really looking forward to this week's Cooking with Goldbridge. Yeah, it's a cracker. It's one of my favourite things. I've not done it for ages, so I'm looking forward to make it so I can eat it, which is always good when you're cooking food. Beautiful shirt, says Lilla. You can get yours, link in the video description. You could be wearing one of these this Christmas, and it comes in a t-shirt as well, and different colours. De Bruyne gets it wide to Lukaku. Look at all the players England have got back, though. Overkill, over-defensive. England have got a corner here. I think Sancho's going to whip it in. What are you all doing tonight then anyway? What's your plans after this? I'll read some of you out. What are you up to? Don't just say you're going to have a pot noodle and a wank. I mean, seriously, tell me what you're going to do. If that's what you're going to do, I don't want to know. But I mean, what film are you going to watch? Are you going to play a game? Are you going to watch a TV series? Are you going to go to bed? Are you off out on a run? You know, let me know what you're up to. Rafa Benitez would be a welcome England manager, Ghost Fierce. Someone like that would fit the profile. Yeah, I don't know. And it depends what time it is as well. Oh, what's happened to my stream? I'm still live. I'm back now. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. I suppose it's the thing, isn't it? Live content, you just don't know. It can go. It can come and go. It can come and go. You just don't know. I think the internet might have just dropped a little bit for a minute. Mark, can you shout out my football club, Aquinos FC, please? Says DJ Henry. He has been asking for ages. Another shot there from Kane just over the bar. Brad says he's going to be shagging his mate Callum Moffat tonight. I hope it's consensual, Callum. If not, you know what to do. Gonna play some Football Manager tonight, says Ghost Fierce, for a bit. Probably might start a new save in the bottom of the English tiers. Forgot that's out. Who do I think's better overall, says Fibrita. Xhaka or Greenwood? Greenwood, yeah. I have heard that Grealish has been linked to City, Samir, yes. Where do I think Alaba will end up, Joachim? Probably Juventus. They're very good at picking up players out of contract, so... don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I'm not going to sing it. Because it doesn't... I don't mind singing it, it just doesn't work. Getting a lot of questions about technical stuff here. My mic I use is a Rode mic. I'll give you the full details on that. I'm very bad at these sort of things, but I can give you the full details. I use a Rode NT USB. There you go. My laptop is... Oh, England nearly scored there. I don't know how you find out what your laptop is. Is there not? There's normally something you can type in and it will tell you your details. Am I going to do a Tottenham versus Man City watch along, says Tuffers. Wow, it's a very difficult one to do because it kicks off at 5:30 on Saturday, but Manchester United kick off at 8 o'clock, and I always go live at like an hour and a quarter before United go live, which is 6:45, which will only be the start of the second half of Tottenham Man City. So I will be watching it, but it'll be on the United Stand stream, if that makes sense. So yeah. Dwayne says that Grealish has played well today. I think Grealish has played well today, yeah. I mean, he's not scored, has he? But I think he's done all right. Please subscribe if you're new on YouTube, by the way, bottom right-hand corner, and give us a follow on Twitch. Thanks everyone who's been tuning in. Still got 5 minutes to go, but I think we know where this is going to go. And it's not going to go the way of England. Newcastle or Sunderland, says X Alpha O. I'd say Newcastle, yeah. Just because they've been the better team to watch in my life. But Belgium haven't had to do much this second half. Two 2-0 up. England have knocked on the door and actually, not progressed through it. Tough as we are going to do it from next week. So, yeah. I'm very much looking forward to going to sleep tonight because I didn't get to sleep till about 2 o'clock last night after the stream, because when you've done a stream all day for like 14 hours, you can't just go upstairs and go to sleep because your mind's very active. So I had to watch a bit of telly for a bit. So it was about 2 o'clock. Then I was up at about 8:30. So I'm looking forward to a sleep tonight. Witzel. Oh, well over the bar that. I've already done a curry, Samuel Robinson, on Cooking with Goldbridge. And Lumpy Dumpy Doo says, if you're on death row, what would your last meal be? Well, everyone can answer that. Why should I just answer it? A good lasagna with some garlic bread. That would be nice. But it depends what... Having said that, I might not be in a lasagna mood. I might be a bit more preoccupied with other things, and I might just say I don't want to eat anything. What's the bloody point? I'm being wrongly put on death row. Stick your lasagna up your arse. So, or I might just fancy a Chinese or an Indian or a Big Mac. You just don't know. Liver and onions, says Keith Garner. And Glenn Harris is going to watch Christmas with the Cranks after this game. It's free on Amazon Prime at the moment. Tell you what, on Twitch you can do film watch-alongs and you can watch the film whilst I talk about it. As long as it's on Amazon Prime, you can do it. So That might be an idea. There's only about 3 minutes there. Marcus McCann says, who would you rather have, Lewandowski or Harry Kane? I would rather have Harry Kane because I think he'd be around for a little bit longer. Yeah, you could do the Spurs documentary watch along Callum, JB, but most people will have seen it by now. Why do you support Spurs? Sorry, why do you support Manchester United? What was that? That was a good... I can't see it now. Can't see it. I don't like the haunting of Bly Manor, Tom J. It just looks horrible. The little man says, why do you support Man United if your dad supports Chelsea? But that's a bit like me saying, you know, why am I not bold and my dad is? Like, everyone's going to make a different opinion. That's a good question from Blackshaw. He says, if you had chance to go to Man United Champions League final, would you go or do a watch along? Mate, I'd go to something like that. Yeah, I mean, it would be a massive watch along on the United stand, but you know, you're gonna go to something like that, aren't you? Three minutes added on here. I'm waving because someone asked for a wave. Sancho playing bad because he didn't get moved. He wanted to stop saying he overrated. I guess you think Messi's overrated too because same thing is happening, says Boogie. And Davis Reject says, I wouldn't go to the final, just do a watch along because we'd lose anyway. Connor Walker's watching I'm a Celebrity. Oh, Lukaku. Nearly. See what happens when there is no Harry Maguire, says Ice. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Ghost Fierce says Hendo's fine. He was taken off for arrest. A lot of people still talking about Tellez and the COVID test. I've seen all the comments. Just don't really want to talk about it because, as I said, I think Tellez will play for Manchester United next week. I don't believe this is going to be an issue. So, because he hasn't got COVID again. He's already bloody had it. So, if he's testing positive, it will just be residual from the thing he's already had. I guarantee this is not going to be a major issue. Well, no, I'm not making any guarantees, but I'm not worried about it. I think people are getting over the top. Like, they're diagnosing him with fucking COVID again when he's only just had COVID. So, I'm not worried about it. We'll see what happens during the week. And I'm not denying that he's had a positive test, but what I'm saying is if you know anything about it, people can still put in a positive test. You can have false positives, and you can also put in a positive test because you've still got the virus in you. So, I mean, I'd be more worried from a bloody pandemic point of view if Tellez had it 3 weeks ago and has re-caught it again. I'd be more worried about that because we're never going to get out of this pandemic if people are catching it twice regularly. Brandon is just giving us a bit more clarity on the Phil Jones thing. He said, I didn't say before, you might not remember, but I said Phil Jones nearly ran me over. Basically, he was doing around 20 miles per hour in a 5-mile zone, and the road was proper narrow, the one leading to Carrington. We went to see some players, but had the experience of Phil Jones having a calamity. There's a surprise. And FM Cold says, I made you soup. It was really nice. It's game over here. It's England losing 2-0. And Oliver Sin says, would you get the vaccine? Very controversial, but I probably would. Probably would, because I don't want to be one of them people who gets it and gets it really bad. But yeah. Ben says, I'm seriously in love with you. You're a handsome man. Well, I'm also a married man. Loyal bridge. And straight bridge. But, you know. There we go. Thanks everyone for tuning in, by the way. Really, really enjoyed the chat, if not the game. Wasn't the best England performance, but I have enjoyed the chat. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Give us a follow if you're on Twitch. Give us a subscribe if you're on YouTube. Thank you for all the chats and the interaction. This is the way we do it. You know, we do watch the game, but if it's not an interesting game, we'll start wandering off into other areas. So thanks everyone, and I will speak to you all on the next one. We're going to do a bit of Among Us on Twitch this week, so make sure you're watching for that. And we're obviously back tomorrow with FIFA Career Mode on Mark Goldbridge. That's football on YouTube. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.